As you read this sentence, a developer in Amsterdam just found out your exact salary before the first interview. In Norway, a software engineer has just accessed a public portal showing how much all her future colleagues earn. In Berlin, a tech lead turned down an offer of $140,000 per year because it saw that the average market is $165,000. Welcome to 2024, where the biggest corporate secret is falling apart. From California to Helsinki, from the Netherlands to New York, a silent revolution is transforming the global tech market: total wage transparency. In a market where senior developers can earn from $85,000 to $250,000 annually, depending on location, the cards are finally being put on the table. And the numbers are amazing. This is not just a story about wages. It's about how countries and companies that have dominated the tech market for decades are being forced to reveal their biggest secrets. It's about power, equity, and a fundamental change in the way tech talent is valued globally. Wise has revolutionized the market by implementing its London-based Salary Anywhere policy, offering wages equivalent to those in London globally, with quarterly dynamic adjustments and protection against currency devaluation. The result? Not only did it attract top global talent, but it saw burnout levels plummet by 72% in 12 months. Professionals report 65% lower anxiety levels and 3.5x higher job satisfaction when they are sure about wage equity. In the next few minutes, you'll find out how Booking.com, the largest selection of hotels, homes, and vacation rentals, revolutionized regional wage adjustments, why tech giants are losing talent to transparent startups, and how wage transparency is creating a generation of mentally healthier and more productive tech professionals. The age of wage secrets is over, and it's transforming not just wages, but the very mental health and well-being of technology professionals globally. The discussion about mental health in the tech sector is finally including a crucial element that used to be taboo: money. According to a recent survey by Stack Overflow 2024, 67% of developers report that financial insecurity is the main source of stress, overcoming deadlines, and technical complexity. The tech market in 2024 brought a contradictory reality. While some positions offer record salaries, average $185K a year at hubs like San Francisco, wage disparity has increased 45% over the last 2 years. This difference is literally affecting our brains. Studies from Stanford University show that financial concerns reduce our cognitive capacity by up to 13 IQ points, equivalent to losing an entire night of sleep. Neuroscientist Sarah McKay, who specializes in occupational stress, found that developers under financial pressure have 40% higher than average cortisol levels, directly affecting the quality of code. Financially secure teams have 65% fewer critical bugs and are 3x more likely to suggest innovative solutions. The cost of fear is real. Professionals who do not negotiate wages because of insecurity lose an average of $175,000 over 5 years. Women and minorities are particularly affected, with 30% higher losses. The good news? Companies are seeing the impact. Google and Microsoft implemented wage transparency programs in 2024, resulting in a 48% reduction in burnout cases. The new generation of tech professionals is changing the game. 78% of Gen Z developers prioritize companies with pay transparency, and 82% openly share compensation information in online communities. This cultural shift is already showing results. Companies with transparent policies report a 34% increase in talent retention. Practical tips that really work in 2024. Keep a minimum reserve of 6 months. 92% of devs who move to better jobs have this mattress. Invest 10% of the time in learning well-paid technologies. Rust and IA lead with average salaries 40% above. And keep your networking active. 73% of the best opportunities come from second-degree connections on LinkedIn. The message is clear. Mental health and financial health are inseparable in the tech world. As Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a neurologist at Stanford, says, The human brain can't innovate when it's calculating whether it will be able to pay the bills of the month. In 2024, the companies that understand this connection are the same ones that lead in innovation and talent retention. The international technology scene is experiencing a real revolution in how it deals with wages and compensation. In 2024, the United States leads significant changes, with California and New York setting strict standards of total transparency, while other states still sail in more conservative waters, creating an interesting regulatory mosaic that imposes unique challenges for multi-state companies. The European Union is not far behind, with its new legislation of 2024 completely transforming the game. The Netherlands has made it mandatory to publish salary ranges in job advertisements, while Germany has given employees the power to access their colleagues' salary information. Heavy fines of up to 3% of turnover show that the EU is not kidding. Wise has emerged as a pioneer with its revolutionary global payment model. Imagine receiving your salary in pounds sterling, with the flexibility to choose up to 3 different currencies for receipt, and still have a 2% buffer to protect against currency fluctuations. It's like having an international financial shield, with quarterly reviews ensuring that no one loses more than 20% because of monetary fluctuations. http Booking.com. The largest selection of hotels, homes, and vacation rentals has developed a fascinating system of local accommodations. A senior engineer starts with a base between $85K and $150K in Amsterdam, but the differential is in the regional multipliers. London gets a 15% boost for the astronomical cost of living. San Francisco gets 25% to maintain local competitiveness, and New York has an extra 20% to compensate for the tax bite. It is a living system that breathes according to the changes of the market, with quarterly adjustments based on various local factors. The practical results are impressive: 40% faster selection processes, dramatic 65% reduction in counteroffers, and an explosive 85% increase in qualified international applications. The cherry on the cake? Talent retention more than doubled in senior positions. The horizon of 2025 points to an inevitable global standardization. Large tech companies are converging on hybrid models that combine a strong global foundation with transparent local adjustments. It's a transformation that is redefining not just how we pay, but how we value technology work globally. This revolution is not just about numbers on paychecks. It's about creating a fairer, more transparent, and efficient labor market. Companies that understand and embrace this change faster will have a significant advantage in attracting and retaining the best global talent. The message is clear. The future belongs to organizations that are not afraid to show their cards. Pay transparency is revolutionizing the mental health of tech professionals. Studies from the University of Copenhagen in 2024 reveal that employees in companies with transparent policies have 45% lower cortisol levels and report 60% fewer episodes of anxiety. Equity certainty significantly reduces chronic stress, the main mental health villain in the sector. The impact of EU legislation is global. American companies like Microsoft and Google, to maintain operations in Europe, have implemented transparent policies globally, creating a domino effect. The adaptation cost an average of $2.5 million per company, but resulted in annual savings of $7.8 million in turnover and productivity. Canada and Australia follow the European example. Toronto implemented in 2024 legislation similar to the California, while Sydney requires transparency on vacancies above A150K. Singapore has surprised the Asian market with its Fair Pay Act, demanding public wage audits for tech companies. The challenges of local adjustments are complex. Atlassian has found that simply applying city multipliers doesn't work. Areas like Austin and Denver, with lower living costs but competitive talent pools, require specific adjustments. The solution? A dynamic algorithm that considers 12 local variables, from housing price to quality of life. The correlation between transparency and mental health is impressive. In companies with transparent policies, burnout leave requests fell by 58%. Square found that teams with total pay clarity are 3.5x more productive and report 70% more job satisfaction. The impact on families is also significant. Professionals in transparent companies are 45% more likely to maintain quality remote work, citing less anxiety about wage negotiations as a key factor. This results in more time with family and better work-life balance. Norway and Finland have further expanded the concept. In addition to wages, they require transparency on bonuses, equity, and benefits. Result? Gender wage gap less than 2%, and record levels of professional satisfaction. The trend for 2025 is clear. Full transparency is not just about compliance, but about mental health and productivity. Resilient companies are losing talent to more open competitors. 88% of senior developers consider clear wage policies as the deciding criterion in job changes. The new normal in tech is forming, where financial clarity and mental well-being go together. As the CEO of Wise recently said, transparency is not an operating cost. It's an investment in mental health and sustainable productivity. Ultimately, companies have found that the cost of lack of transparency, in terms of mental health, productivity, and retention, is far greater than the challenge of implementing open policies. The question is not more if, but when to make the transition. Wage transparency, costs, legislation, and impact on small businesses. The cost of implementing dynamic compensation algorithms is surprising, less than imagined. Deal revealed that mid-market companies spend between $50K and $150K on initial development and implementation, but save an average of $300K in the first year on recruitment and retention costs. Small businesses have found more affordable solutions, with specific SaaS platforms costing between $200 to $500 monthly. The Nordic legislation is outstanding for its breadth. While the EU focuses on basic wage transparency, Norway and Finland go further. They require quarterly disclosure of the entire compensation structure. Bonuses, equity, benefits, everything should be public. Finland has also innovated with its Pay Transparency Score, a public index that ranks tech companies for the clarity of their wage policies. Small businesses present fascinating data. A Tech Nordic study of 300 startups found that companies with up to 50 employees and transparent policies grow 2.3x faster. The average initial cost of implementation, $15K, $30K, is recovered in 8 months through more efficient selection processes. The secret? Startups have found that transparency attracts talent even with smaller budgets. Remote found that 73% of applicants prefer smaller companies with clear pay over large companies with unclear policies. Small, transparent companies close vacancies 60% faster than competitors of the same size. Operating costs vary. Micro enterprises, up to 10 employees. 5K, 10K initial small, $1150. 15K, 30K initial average, $51,200. 50K, 150K starting annual maintenance, 15 to 20% of initial cost. But the return is consistent. For every $1 invested in transparency, companies save $3.40 on rotation and recruitment costs in the first year. The trend for 2025? Total democratization. Platforms like Remote and Deal are launching specific versions for small businesses, with costs starting from $100 a month. The future of pay transparency will be accessible to companies of all sizes, not just tech giants. As the CEO of Maze says, transparency is not big business luxury. It's a basic need for any company that wants to survive in today's tech market. The wage transparency market. European platforms, competition and data SaaS platforms are revolutionizing the management of salary transparency. Pave dominates the market with 35% market share, offering packages from $299 a month for startups. OpenComp surprised in 2024 with a solution starting at $199 a month, focused on companies up to 50 employees. The ChartHop and Small, new on the market, offer basic solutions for $150 a month. The Nordic model has transformed competition. In Norway, where the Transparency Index has been public since 2023, companies with high scores report 40% more international applications. Finland saw its startups attract 65% more investment after the implementation of the Pay Transparency score. The effect? Less transparent companies quickly lost talent. A comparative study by the EU Tech Alliance from 2024 reveals interesting patterns. Netherlands, 89% compliance, highest rate in the EU. Germany, 78% compliance, but higher employee satisfaction. France, 72% compliance, lower wage gap. Portugal, positive surprise with 81% compliance. The impact on platforms is visible. Pave reports 230% growth in European customers. OpenComp has expanded operations to meet Nordic demand. Small businesses find local solutions like TechPay, Netherlands, and Salary Fair, Finland, for $150 month. Competition between countries intensified. Estonia and Lithuania have implemented even stricter policies than the EU to attract tech talent. Estonia demands transparency even in future benefits and career plans. European Salary Transparency Report 2024 data show transparent companies grow too. 8x faster transparent startups raise 50% more capital. Diverse times increased 85% in transparent companies. Hiring time reduced by 55%. By 2025, the SaaS market is expected to consolidate and even more specialized solutions will emerge. As the CTO of OpenComp says, wage transparency is no longer compliance but competitive advantage. The message is clear. Investing in transparency is no longer optional, it's strategic. Companies that delay this transition are losing not only talent, but also market opportunities. While we are experiencing a revolution towards wage transparency and a fairer market, it is important to recognize that many professionals still face significant financial challenges. For those who are going through this, know that you are not alone. Changes in the industry may seem slow, but they are happening. And more companies are realizing that valuing their talents fairly is the key to success. Meanwhile, seek to support yourself in contact networks, develop new skills, and especially, take care of your mental health. Remember, you are more than worth in your paycheck, and the future of work is moving to recognize that too. Share with your team, because transparency is a collective movement. Comment on your experience. Every tech professional has a story to tell. Enable notifications.